Yeah. The Foundation Center? Yes. Now, in 2015, there were $890 billion in assets at 86,000 charitable foundations. Yes. Now, they have here something very interesting. Yes. Initiative spearheaded by the Annie E. Casey Foundation. Yeah. They created a clearinghouse of information networking and best practices for those philanthropies that wanted to engage in what is now called impact investing. Now, the result of that work today is an independent nonprofit called Mission Investors Exchange. It has more than 200 member foundations, including multi-billion dollar institutions like the Bill and Melinda Gates and Ford Foundations. Yes. Could you get me all the actual data from this clearinghouse? Yes. I think it's so good. Yes. That when foundations that happen to control approximately $1 trillion, yep, they decided that they do impact investing. Now, I want to impact them. Yes, he does. Now, let's see. The state of Washington refuses to acknowledge the rights of parents or children. Yes. And then the state of Washington says that I owe $140,000 in back child support. But all of that money was converted to public federal debt. Yes. That the United States Treasury is obligated to collect. Yes. And the United States Treasury has hit the debt ceiling last month. Poop. Now, these foundations, this $1 trillion, yeah. I was thinking about it. I think every one of them, yes, that has any knowledge of fraud, forgery, violating the 14th Amendment, yep, sections 1 and 4, poop, the insurrection, and the rebellion against the enforcement of the laws of the United States. See, it's one thing to exploit children, yes, abuse children, yes, and then it's another thing to exploit, abuse, and harass their parents. Poop. Now, when I told you that I wanted my sons, and you said, well, we're just not going to remove the dissolution of marriage. Then I gave you a copy of the United Nations marriage certificate. You said, nope, we had jurisdiction to do it. And then when I never got any notice of actual court hearings, right. And then you issue those two reference numbers, and yesterday you're saying, well, he's wrong. I always acknowledge, okay, just for argument's sake, that I could be wrong, but I think you did something. Yes. Now, the Tim Hodges divorce, yeah, there was only one reference number issued, and there was a child support order included in that. Now, maybe it's the number of children you have. Maybe you have two, three, four, five, six children, or however many children it is, and there's a certain number of children that causes a second reference number to be issued. Because I thought of the validity of what the fuck you were doing. Poo-wah, poop. Now, give me that $1 trillion. Now, these QSIP numbers that we were looking at yesterday, yes, I'm going to want to know the actual investments of every foundation that I'm going to sue. Yes. The actual employees since the foundation started. Yes. The GPS location, the email addresses, the IP address. Yes, it does. And then I just want to argue with them because they say that they're. He's just fucking arguing today.